think Boris reacted well, thought for a long time, and I think especially C4 shows that he's very alert. Black should play this as quickly as possible so as to get his bishops out. And after that, I wasn't entirely happy about winning this pawn. The problem is after I win the pawn, Black is always going to have a lot of compensation because of his bishops and the open files on the queen side. So it will be very difficult for me to advance my pawn majority.
This game has been very interesting and I think it debunks the commonplace assertion that it's the number of moves which makes a game increasingly interesting. And here in the early stage already you encountered very interesting propositions like, I don't know how new theoretically this has been. It was quite a novelty for me, this sixth move b3, and then you could see that the white had a crystal plan and it was to be perceived with d65 and brilliant move h4 with the possibilities of pursuing with knight e2 and then with the queen on point e2 and knight e4, so it was all of uttermost interest.
It's difficult to say. I would say that the match itself has been very tough and very intense. Also, there's always a lot of background theoretical work which isn't visible. And but I would say almost all the games have been hard fought, and we only draw when, well, at least when it's obvious to us that the game was going nowhere. It's been a very hard struggle. I can't pick out games yet.
Peter Swidler, thanking you for talking to Doordarshan.
Sure.
What did you think about the game today?
Well, I thought it was very interesting up to a point where Visho for the draw. I was slightly surprised at the timing, but I think the final position is very, very even, and you're highly unlikely to win this position with white against a a good player. But still, I thought Visho could play on for a bit and just check what's what. But he's not really winning this position. But I thought the whole sequence, starting with e5 h4 and culminating in Black returning not one but two pawns, was extremely interesting and very, very well exciting in terms of not only chess but psychological content, because it was rarely you see such a pronounced fight to be the one with initiative in a chess game, because the whole point of e5 h4 is to get a position in which, well, arguably at this point we went to a commercial break and went outside of the booth. And I spoke to Kramnik for a bit, and he said that he feels Black is better, being a pawn up. But the position is such that White will be the one doing all the running. And Boris obviously was very, very unhappy with that prospect. And his reply was designed specifically to be the one calling the shots. He transposed into a pawn down endgame, which is not something you do lightly, simply because he didn't like the idea of defending for, let's say, 40 moves. So I thought, this small bit of the game was, worth the entry price alone, And actually, I probably wouldn't have taken this pawn on e5. After knight c4, bishop a6, I think it was worth considering something quiet, like bishop b2 or queen e2, any move which would keep the structure fixed for a bit and would limit Black's counterplay. But I guess Vishy thought, okay, as I said, it's a pawn up endgame. You don't normally say no to those. But his winning chances after he transposed into this pawn up endgame were very, very limited, I thought.
Okay, he had anything better than queen f3?
That's my point. Something like queen e2 needs to be properly evaluated. I'm not sure if it's a better option, but it was definitely an option, which we, at least in the booth, felt was very, very much worth exploring. But once again, we don't really have time or space there to do any proper analysis, and I can't really tell you whether it's a better option than the endgame. So maybe black is fine there as well. So
Okay. Thank you very much.
sure.
Thank you.